It's Friday the 5th of January, New Year, but the weather's still the same as last year. It's absolutely soaking wet. It's rained overnight again, everywhere's saturated. It's a job to get around in the truck, if you go off the main tracks. So yeah, lots of fun at the moment on the estate. We're going to head down to the big wood this morning and just generally have a bit of a wander around and see what we come across. I was hoping we were going to do some roe deer out in the fields, but with the way the weather's been again, I don't think anything's going to be sticking its head out, until it dries up a bit later on. So we'll just head down in the woods, go around the outside to start with, see if we can find any red deer out, and then we'll see what happens after that. Trying to find somewhere dry to park so we don't sink. Just come up to the corner of the wood here looking onto some fields, but nothing obvious out. We'll just keep heading on round. Just pushed a couple of Egyptian geese off some water here, which made a horrible flappy squawking noise as they went away. Few hares out in the field, but there's no obvious deer. We'll just cut across this next field and then have a look down the edge of the wood, sort of another 2 fields over. If there's nothing out there, then we'll bin it off on the outside and we'll be going through the wood on the rides on the inside. The Munty going across that field to our right over here. If any of you have got red dots on your scopes, it's always worth remembering to check how bright it is. So when I got out of the truck, I put it on and just adjusted the brightness so that obviously if we saw something straight away, it wasn't too bright if I switched it on. So now we've been out for 10-15 minutes, just going to have another look, put it on again and just adjust the brightness. Keep trying. Just walking up the side here and just pushed a roe deer out of these brambles. Just got up on the sticks in case it stopped out in the sugar beet field, but it's obviously got the wind up it and just carried on running away. There's a muntjac just going away from us down here. Young buck, just come out of this ditch line. Oh, there's another one coming out. So we're just walking along here, just bumped that road here out, and we just stopped on this ditch line, just had a look up with the binoculars, and there was a muntjac buck running away from us. And then luckily we waited a few seconds, another one came out and just started walking across this sugar beet field. So it's just another young muntjac buck, about 80 metres. So it's a good result. We'll walk over and have a look. Yeah, there we go, little immature muntjac buck, just growing its first set of antlers. Shot it through the shoulder because it was quite windy and a little bit of movement as the wind was gusting, so we'll put that back over there and we'll keep going for something else. We're putting up quite a few birds as we go down here, so rather than going right down the edge of the wood and obviously putting even more up, we'll just go out on this tram line in the field and hopefully most of them will just go away quietly. There's a little sort of rectangle of rough cover down in the corner here which might be out of the wind, so maybe we'll find something there. Another 2 muntjac down in front of us, so we'll just keep going down a little bit, see if we can get close enough. So second one down, it's another young buck, about the same age as the first one we shot over there. About 120 metres. There was 2 there, a slightly bigger buck as well, but he went in. Yeah, walk down, have a look. It's a bit mucky across this field, so it's been a bit of a struggle. It's not very nice going out in the wind and rain, but actually sometimes it's quite productive because the deer are just, you know, going around feeling as miserable as we are, and they're not always paying attention to what's going on like they are on a nice day. So yeah, there we go, second one down. You can see here, obviously it's sugar beet in the field still. This will be harvested sort of any time now really, but all the deer come and eat this, plus the hares. And the pheasants peck at it, and I've even seen like foxes eating it and stuff when it's really hard in the winter. So that's quite a good crop for the deer. It goes to the sugar beet factory at Bury St Edmunds and gets turned into sugar. There's lots of it grown in the area, so obviously the animals do have an impact on it, but it's not quite as much of an issue as the high value sort of vegetable crops in terms of deer damage, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, we'll keep going into the wood now and see how we get on. It's just after 9 o'clock and it's all gone a bit quiet in the wood here now. We've walked up one of the main rides and not seen very much. So we just thought we'd come in this fairly open patch with a little bit of bramble around the side here and just have a little call with the bootaloo and see if we could get anything out. But it doesn't seem to have worked. With the muntjac, you tend to find that the little mouth calls are better. But obviously I don't have one of those on me today, so yeah, we'll just keep wandering up through here. We've still got to go up through the sort of main bit of the big wood to get back to the truck anyway, so we might see something on the way back. Good. We just came through this bit of wood over on my right where we just tried culling for a few minutes. Just about to head up this main ride through the wood, and as we come around the corner there was a little muntjac feeding on the edge, looked like a doe. So the wind's going straight from us to her, just where we're standing here. So it's a bit of a rush shot really, just get the gun up and shoot. So I think it went down all right. So that could be number 3 for the morning. We'll just go and check. Yeah, here we go, number 3 for the morning. Yeah, sort of youngish doe really. Got the 3006 this morning because obviously was hoping we were going to get some red deer. So I've again shot this one quite front forward on the shoulder. So we can leave that here, come and pick that up with the truck in a bit. We'll keep going on up the main ride. Just walking along the ride here and just spotted a muntjac going away in this fenced area, but it's just gone straight away from us. So I got up to the edge here where the fence was a bit lower. We could have got a shot in there, but it's just kept going away through the hazel. So these are probably 30-year-old fenced areas now. Obviously they did some coppicing in here and then put a deer fence around it to get the regeneration going. But unfortunately when they did it all those years ago, they put wire on with the holes were too big, so muntjac were just getting in and out of there all the time. So in the when they coppiced it a second time, they came round with some chicken wire to try and keep them out, but obviously they still jumped in through the holes. And then over time, just wear and tear, and once the deer have found a way in, they just knock the fences down. And then once they're like this, there's just more of a sort of hindrance than a help really. So they really want taking out and re-fencing, starting again. Well, that's us done for the morning. 3 muntjac was more than I thought we'd get actually. Haven't seen any red deer at all, which is what we really wanted to try and find. Just goes to show you that even though the weather's rubbish, there's still something about to shoot, you know, if you get out there and have a look. So we'll get these picked up, back to the larder, get them sorted out, find some breakfast probably, and then we'll head out this afternoon. Hopefully it's going to stay relatively dry, and see if we can find a couple of roe. We just finished having some breakfast, and we were hoping that the rain was going to have blown through and finished for the day, but it's just coming back in, sort of drizzly, windy, light rain. So we're just going to go and have a look on these fields over here, see if we can find some roe deer tucked up out of the way. Hopefully they'll be out and about feeding. If not, we'll just have to stand there and wait for them to get up. But we'll go and have a look, see what happens. Well, whether that was the one or not, but we just literally started walking down the hedge track there, and there was a muntjac came up to us on the left, obviously saw us, ran back down, and then ran out across the field again. So we've taken about 10 steps, again just using the sticks as a two because it's only 50 metres away. Nice quick shot, so you're not wobbling too much if you take the shot quickly. So 2 down, we'll go and have a look at both of them. Yeah, so like I said, this was the first one I shot. Just threw the gun up on the sticks, gave it a shout, and just had to take a quick shot. So I knew when I shot, or just after I shot, that it was going to be a little bit back. So it's actually come in here, sort of back of the liver area. Luckily it's standing on a bit of an angle, so it's actually come out further forward, so it doesn't look like it's done any damage to the stomach. And then the second one had a little bit more time for it, or I was at least expecting it to come out. So top of the shoulder on that one. So this one's got its second set of antlers here, got a little coronet on there. And this one is like the ones we shot this morning really, just still growing its first set of antlers. So we got those 2 muntjac down, which is a good result, obviously unexpected. I don't know if you guys can see in the far distance where that little clump of trees is, there's a big hole in the ground there, and the roe deer quite often lay up in there. Obviously that's full of water, so they're not going to be in there. I was expecting or hoping that there might be some out on this little rough bit of cover here, or sort of in the shelter against the wood over on my right, but there's nothing obvious. So As soon as we've got those two, we'll get them picked up with a vehicle, which is only just 150 metres over here, and then we'll head round to another area, see if we can find some more roe. Got 3 roe round the corner. They're about 100 metres away from us. Just go round slowly. They might have winded us the way the wind's now going. Yeah, they're onto us. Yeah, on them.
Eh!
We just came down this hedgerow. We just crossed over the road from where the truck was. The wind's turned a little bit more now, so in theory it should have been going sort of straight behind me, but it's turned a little bit, so it's sort of quartering across. And as we came down the bottom here, we just stuck our head around the corner, and there was 3 roe deer about 100 yards out in this maize stubble, just walking off the hedgerow. So whether the wind was just going around the hedge and they caught the scent of us a little bit or not, but anyway, they got out to about 180 metres. 1 doe and 2 bucks. So gave them a little noise to stop them, and got a shot on the doe. So she looks like she's gone over. The other 2 that were with it, one of the bucks already had sort of, you know, a good 3-4 inches of antler, so that's probably a 2-3-year-old buck. And then the other young buck that was there was the buck kid of that one. But he'll be all right now. He's not dependent on the doe, and obviously he's got that older buck to hang around with through the rest of the winter. So we'll just give it a couple of minutes, then we'll walk down and have a look. Right, so we obviously just got across that quagmire down to the Rhodo. She just went down on the spot, and yeah, it looks a good mature one. Perhaps not in great condition, so good one to take. It's obviously now covered in mud where it's fallen down in the wheelings there. So yeah, good result. That was the only one we could have shot. Obviously, that's the only one that's in season. There's always quite a few roe down in this bit. Some of our previous videos, if you go back and look at those, you'll see plenty of roe deer down in this bit. So not too worried if obviously we've shot the mother to any of those roe kids, because like we said, they're not dependent anymore, and they'll just hang around with the other roe that are down in this area now. So yeah, good one to take, good result. We'll probably call it a day at that, with a 5 Muntjac and 1 Rhodo. Wind's coming from behind you guys now, and looks like there's more rain blowing in, so I think we'll just try and get this one extracted as cleanly as possible and get him back to the larder. So that's the end of the day for us. Good result with those 5 Muntjac and that 1 Rhodo, especially considering the weather. Pretty wet first thing in the morning, and then a good stiff breeze blowing all day. It's drying off a bit now, but yeah, it's end of the week, and I've got other bits and bobs to do before the day's out. So thanks for watching. And also thanks for commenting on all the videos. I've been trying to respond to some of your questions as well, so please ask a question and I'll try and get back to you eventually. And yeah, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. We'll be filming in the start of February. Not sure what we'll be going for, but I'm sure it'll be soaking wet on the ground still, and we'll be slopping around in mud.